and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you, getting into my weekly check-in. So I am weekly checking in on the 15th to the 21st. Today is the 22nd. I don't have plans to spend today. If I do spend anything, I'll just put it towards next week's budget because I have everything mapped out and I'm ready to go into the new week, but I had to pay for what I spent last week. Everything you see here goes on a credit card, and I had 3 bills that also went on the credit card of things that I have reoccurring, and so I wanted to make a payment to the credit card and get that taken care of so I can track what's left for the rest of the month. Now all my bills are taken care of. Anything that needed to be charged to the credit card is charged, and anything that needed to be charged out of the checking account, which some of my bills, they prefer the checking account and not a credit card. So that is how I have it set up. And so far everything looks good and I have money left over. Everything that's left in the checking account is just spending money. All the bills have been taken care of. So I do like when I get to this point of the month because then I'm just tracking actual cash. That's actually my checking account that only covers the spending categories here. And it works out really well that way. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. This is my planner. It's Erin Condren monthly planner, and I love budgeting. I do weekly check-ins, paycheck to paycheck budgets, as well as monthly budgets and monthly closeout, sinking funds, and savings trackers. So those are the things that I have going on. So hopefully you find something that you really like. And if you do like, go ahead and give a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And I would love to hear from you guys, and maybe put an emoji that you're new or something like that in the comments. And if you're OG, just put a purple heart emoji in there. I would love to see you guys make those little post in the comment section. So let's go ahead and get started. I have 2 no spend days, the 17th, and I'm counting today as a no spend day. And so far so good. We are in budget. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 transactions that we're going to be looking at, plus 3 bills. So let's start with just the weekly check-in and find out how much I spent and where we spent it and all the things. We're pretty routine in our spending, and I actually love tracking this because it gives me a good sense of us stewarding our money that God provided well. And that's the whole point of this budgeting, is to make sure we're stewarding it well and we can take care of all the things that we need and all the things that we want. So that's what we do here. We're going to start with grocery household, which is this pink color. And I have a mistake already. I wrote down $34.62, and I'm going to double check again. It should be $35, but I'm going to check the bank. Like I said, it goes onto my credit card. Hold on a second. Okay, I got on my app. I looked at it. It's $35.62. I had ordered some supplements, some omega-3 fish oil, and I also got, what else did I get? Oh, I think it's called Bullfrog, but it's a combination of sunscreen and insect repellent. My husband and our youngest son, who's getting ready to turn 21, loves to go fishing, and so we wanted something combined like that, and we didn't have it in our local grocery store that we go to frequently. So I just went on Amazon and ordered them. So the combined price was $35.62. I did go to Meijer's that day, which is our grocery store, for $80.82. I'm sure I got milk and cookies and snacks and juices and meats and all kinds of stuff. It's normal grocery, nothing unusual about it. It's just a short trip with a handful of things that we needed. Let's see. The next grocery item I have is over here, and we have $139.22. That was a big pickup with what my husband needs for lunches, what we needed in meats for meals like chicken or steak or ground beef, things like that. And then breads and eggs and all that, you know, all that's so expensive right now. And then there's a few things I left off my grocery pickup that I needed to get. And then I found some more stuff in the grocery store. I cannot go inside without spending. It's just a thing. So I'm trying to keep it under control. which is why I do these weekly check-ins. So far, I haven't gone too crazy. A little bit, but not too. $48.52 is what I spent when I went in and got some extra items I forgot for my pickup. And then the next day, silly me, I went to go cook spaghetti. Is it spaghetti? No, lasagna. Hamburger helper lasagna. That's what my son's like on Mondays. And they're very routine in what they eat every day of the week. So I did not have any ground beef down that wasn't frozen. So I had to go to the store and pick up 2 pounds of ground beef. Yes, they were $15.98. I buy the leanest meat I can get because I don't like dealing with the grease, and it's healthier for you if you don't put all the extra fat in it. So I get a 93.7, 93% lean and 7% fat. And we've been doing that for years. So as far as ground beef goes, I definitely spend more than the average. 80/20s are much cheaper, but I just don't. I've cooked with this 93.7 for so long. The 80/20s seem to be too greasy for me and too much, and it doesn't sit well with our bodies. So we've just done it for so long, and where I'm at, it's like, you divide that in half. It's over $7, I think, right at $7. But when I went to do a grocery pickup, and it might have been here because there was a sale on the 97.3. What do I call it? 93.7. That's what it's called. I might have gotten 6 pounds because it was buy one, get one half price. And I usually buy a bulk of that whenever it goes on sale. It doesn't matter. And I try to keep the budget high enough that I can do that whenever the sale comes in the middle of the month and I don't have to worry about it. But like I said, it was frozen. I froze it all instead of leaving one down, and I had to go to the store and get something that was already thawed. I went ahead and picked up 2. Long story short, not short. And then Amazon, so $72.09. What did I get there? Okay, I've looked it up. Part of this is a big bottle of insect repellent specifically for ticks. Now, the reason we're doing that is because my husband likes to go hiking with our son, but he also has a job that has him stomping around in areas where ticks would be found outdoors. And so that's part of his job. And so he's like, I want to make sure, since his uniforms have been treated with the tick repellent, I think when he got them last year, and we've washed them so many times, they may not be as effective. So he wanted more of that. And then I got some more supplements and things that I normally get, but I got them in bundles. So that was why it was so high, $72.09. It was cheaper in bundles that way. I'm always buying supplements between me and my husband and my 2 sons, and we're all adults. And the older you get, the more supplements it seems to be that you need. So there's that. So that was the Amazon that comes out of Grocery Household. And then I did another grocery pickup of $102.50 at Meijer for milk. I always have to buy milk. My sons drink a lot of milk. I'm just kind of looking up this receipt right now. Yeah, this one I went ahead and got a couple packages of chicken tenders, some steak, and other things like that. So they were kind of expensive. I did buy Dawn Power Wash, and I got 2 refills and some cheese and some chips and some orange juice and waters. There was always need for bottled water. And again, milk, like I said, things like that. So that is where we're at right now as far as what we spent in Grocery Household. It's a lot higher than I normally would like to spend, but it just ended up working out that way. So let's go ahead and total what I've spent here. I have not mentioned, I just put a new sticker down. It was so cute. I kind of really matched the color palette up here, and I thought she was really pretty, and I wanted to use this sticker, so I thought I would put it here. I have 2 of these. I might put the other one in the month of June because it's a similar color palette. So let's total this up and I'll be right back. All right, we spent a lot. $494.75. Whew. Just for 1 week. And a lot of it, like I said, it was a lot of meats. It was a lot of like unusual items, like the bug spray with the sunscreen was like $11. And I think it was like almost $20 for the tick spray, and it's a large bottle. I got laundry stuff, like laundry pods, the largest container they have for that. So those add up pretty quick. Now let's go ahead and move to restaurants. And that is in this blue color here. And the first place is we went to King Buffet, which is a Chinese buffet restaurant, for $38.11. And then my sons ordered Papa John's, $35.53, including tip. The $38.11 also included a tip for the restaurant. And then over here, Buffalo Wild Wings. This was also no, we didn't DoorDash this one. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, my husband and I had a date night. We typically go there. It's the closest restaurant, and my husband's very comfortable there. And I have fallen in love with their nachos without the peppers. And put chicken on it. It's just really good. So we got that. He got a couple drinks, $58.73. We gave the waitress a tip that she was having a rough time, and we just wanted to bless her a little bit. So we added a little more to the tip. And then we went to Chick-fil-A at $12.59. No, I went to Chick-fil-A. I got breakfast that morning. I was meeting somebody, and I was running behind, and I wanted to get something to eat. So I stopped at Chick-fil-A and then met up, or vice versa. I met with them, and then before I ate, and then went to Chick-fil-A. That's what it was. So spent a lot more. We're over, I think. No, we haven't gone over for the month yet. I think we're like right at $7 for what's left in eating out, and we still have another week to go. So yeah, we're going to be over for the month, but that's okay. I have a strategy. I'll show you what that strategy is at the end of this segment, so I'll be right back. Okay, we spent $144.96. And then what's next? Gasoline. So I have no miscellaneous, which is this green color. And I do have one gasoline purchase. This was 14 gallons for $35.55. And this gas purchase is actually for a gas tank. I think a 14-gallon gas tank for my husband that has store. This gas purchase here was not for our vehicles. It was actually for our lawnmower. My husband has a 14-gallon gas container, and he took it to the gas station and filled it up. So that's 14 gallons for $35.55. And that is all we had there. And then we have the bills. So we'll come back to the bills in just a second, but we're going to flip to the weekly check-in. And we're going to fill this out. And this is how I really track and see where we're at, and do we have enough left over to keep going the way we are as far as eating out or grocery household. Those are the two categories I really have to pay attention to. Even though I know I'm over in miscellaneous, now that I've stopped and I can kind of control that a little bit, we're just going to make the numbers work. So I have $805.55 for grocery household, and I spent $494.75. That gives us $310.80. And so let's go to the next one. $152.33 minus the $144.96. I told you this was $7, so that is the amount right there. $7.37. I'm gonna put my check marks so I don't forget. I've already paid all this, so we're good to go. 0 here, and I'll come back and write that in red here in a second. Anytime anything goes negative, I write in red. And it's just a good reminder every week, oh, I'm over in this category, I can't spend, or I shouldn't spend, or do I want to count it in this category and just let the other categories kind of take care of it later? Things like that. Those are the thought processes I have. Gasoline, so I had 128.97 minus the 35.55. And that was 93.42. I don't know if I'm going to fill up before the end of the month or not. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that I have enough for the rest of the month, but we will have to wait and see. And if it cuts close, it's either going to interfere with an extra debt payment that I planned for this month, or I'm going to be able to manage to keep it within these numbers. We'll have to wait and see. And the only reason I'm concerned about this is because I don't know how much gasoline I have in my vehicle, and my vehicle is the one we drive to my husband's appointment, and it's about 45 minutes there, 45 minutes back, and so it kind of eats up the gas. It's a 2013 Nissan Armada, so it's a big vehicle, and it's just how it drives. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Copay. There was no copay, right? Okay. So we still have the $41.93. We might have one prescription before the end of the month, but I'm not sure yet. And 0 for unbudgeted, which is the goal. Okay, so let's write this number, -643, because we want to make sure we remember that and not actually go over any further with that. And now we need to look at what total did I have to pay back the credit card. So, and I'm just going to total these up, and that's going to give me what my spending was for the week. This is what I had for the week as far as spending categories, $675.26. I think that's right. And now for the bills. So the bills are back here on this previous page, and I did not highlight them. I found my highlighter, and AT&T went up. I was very disappointed in that. I was hoping it would stay right under $300. Though in October, I think the leases on my son's phones expire, and they will own their phones, and they're doing pretty good there. But it went up $5 a phone, something like that. And we have 4 phones on this plan, and I have a lease on my phone. So yeah, I was not happy about that. Let's see. Then I had my husband's bill, and then I had my storage. So those are the ones that got charged to the credit card, and that's the ones we're going to total up right here. So let's just total these numbers up. Okay, so this was $358.49. Let's go back to the weekly check-in. Now I'm going to add these numbers again. I'm repeating myself, but that's okay. Let's total this up, combine to get exactly how much we spent on the credit card and how much I paid back. All right, so I paid back the credit card, $1,033.75. Okay, now that I know what I spent and how much I needed to pay back the credit card, I can just kind of balance forward and see what's left in my spending categories. And so I'm going to write these new numbers down, and we're going to total up the new numbers. So as you can see here, I have my new numbers. Let's total up grocery household. I have $310 in grocery household. I probably won't need that amount, $310.80, but I do have a plan that I want to stick to that's going to be less than that. $7.37, and subtract the $6.43, add the $93.42 I'll probably need, and then add the $41.93. All right, so I am showing $447.09. Actually, if I'm doing this right, I need to add that back in because that's actually been paid for out of the buffer. So sitting in the checking account is $453.53 plus the buffer of my checking account, which is sitting at $96.63. So total right now I have sitting in the checking account as actual cash. If I open my bank account, this is what it's going to say. It's $550.15. So I'm going to move this out of the way now. So with 1 week left in the month, 7 days, according to my calendar, before my husband gets his first check for the new month, which is the last day of the month. I don't count the 30th or anything after that because my husband gets paid on that day. So spending starts on the end of the previous month, and I take care of it in the next month. So checking account is saying $550.15. And that's a combination of spending as well as what was left in the buffer of the checking account. I know what's coming is some Amazon subscribe and saves. Don't forget your subscribe and saves. So I'm estimating that with Amazon, and I'm putting $75 there. So I'm going to need $75 for Amazon. And then grocery household, I'm going to give myself $200 because I've got pretty much everything I need. This would be milk, eggs, or any recipe items that I need. And then restaurants, so I'm going to give myself an odd amount here. And we can subtract as we go. Whoops. All right, and then restaurants, I do need that because every Friday my husband has an appointment and it's really late when we get home. So we just grab something to eat while we're out, depending on how his appointment goes. $150.15. And the reason I have that is I want to zero out everything here. So $150.15. So that leaves $125. So I'm going to leave copay at $25. I may not need it, or I may need a little bit of it, but that's okay. And so $25, and then $100 to the credit card debt that we left on there. And if you subtract 100, obviously it's zero. So that is what I'm planning to do with the cash that's left over for the rest of the month, which is 7 days for me for the calendar. Going all the way to the 29th. So the 23rd through the 29th, and then the 30th is a new week for me starting that weekend, and it's in a new month for me because that's when my husband gets paid for the new month. So that is what I have here. This is how my spending is going to break down and what I have left. This is why I do a weekly check-in. If I know there's a certain amount of money left and there's no bills to pay, I need to break that down and make sure it covers everything I want and what I need. And I wanted to do this because I'm always forgetting this Amazon subscribe and saves. And they're every month, and you'd think I would track that a little bit better, but I haven't. And so this month I really want to track it a lot better, and I should be able to do that. So we'll see. But yeah, when I close out this monthly budget, you'll see how these numbers actually ended up, the rest of these categories, and see how close I came. But I should be okay. Now that $550 will sit in the checking account until the 30th when my husband gets paid again, and they kind of overlap. That way the bank account never goes to zero, and all this is charged on a credit card, so I just pay it after there's already a deposit for the new month, and it doesn't interfere with the checking account, and I don't go negative. I don't have insufficient funds and things like that. That is my budget, and this is my weekly check-in. I think everything turned out okay, and everything looks good to me as far as being confident on what we have left for the rest of the month. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.
As a young girl, it feels we're mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free, without a care.